Brett, it feels like five is the new norm for you now. That's 6 of the season, but I'm sure everyone feels just as special.
Yeah, obviously it's always nice again to get accolades and wickets and things, but it's more of a, it's all about the team things. And today it was obviously bowling out for as few as we can and then bat big, and but today's a special day for other reasons. And as a team, we've been enjoying that, and we'll go and celebrate and enjoy that for them as well.
Sure, we'll come on to that. How hard did you work for those 5 wickets yesterday and today? It looks a slightly flatter pitch than we might have been used to here at Trent Bridge.
Yeah, it's been tough going. It's sort of with sort of a wet outfield with a bit soft under the legs and things. It's a bit more tiring than sort of usual on the run-up areas and things like that. But it's not the sort of pitches we played on most of the time here. But it's what we've been prepared for this game and things like that. And with the weather and all the rest of it around, it's probably better to have something a bit drier than a bit wet with the rain.
And that takes you to 60 for the season now. I don't know if you've seen that Simon Harman's on 61, and if there's sort of a race to the finish in that respect, are you keen to top the table at the end of it?
Yeah, it'd obviously be lovely to be able to look back on the year and think that I've managed to do that, but for me it's all about the team, and these fifers and wickets, and it's all a byproduct of us winning games. So if that puts us in a position where we can put Middlesex under pressure and we could maybe win the game, then that's what matters.
How do you view the game sort of situation as it is? That's an important session it looked like to bat through some gloomy conditions there.
Yeah, that was huge really. I think to sort of see that little session off, like I say, it was all in their favour. A short session so bowlers can go hard, and you get time off. Like I say, the lights on are a bit gloomy. It was vital to get through that sort of unscathed.
And you sort of in good nick with the bat at the minute. If your turn does come tomorrow, do you look forward to going in as an all-rounder at the minute and the way that you've been batting this season?
I always enjoy batting. It's fun, isn't it? You get to batting's always nice, but yeah, if I get a chance, hopefully I'll try and make as many as I can. But hopefully the lads at the top of the order do the hard work and put that big score on for us.
And you rightly mentioned the fact that we had a presentation today for 2 very special players, Samit Patel and Jake Bull. We'll start with sort of Jake, I suppose, as part of the scene bowling cartel. What's it been like to share a dressing room with him and play with him as well over the last however many years?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, obviously. I think back some of the times that I've played and watched him, when he sort of broke into the England time, standing at slip sometimes, watching him bowl some of those spells. I was on the field when he got his hat-trick. I was at slip, I think, or leg slip, one of the, we were all in somewhere. There's been some great moments, and he's just a great lad. Like I say, around the dressing room, he's one of the best. So it'd be a shame to see him go, but obviously that's how it is.
And as you say, you've sort of grown up with him as well, so it's not just like he's a big player in the club, but you've come through with him for the last sort of 10 years or so. You've seen a big sort of growth in him over that period of time as well?
Yeah, obviously he's always been a good player. Obviously, you don't play for Notts unless you're a good player, and the growth, like I say, to see him go from what he was, which was good, to then that period when he was playing for England and sort of in and around England, and obviously had a bit of a tough time of late, but that that happens to bowlers. Some people get the injury bug and it just sort of follows you around, and it can't be helped. We all know that at some point you're going to get an injury. But yeah, he's still a very good bowler, and he's shown that in this game. He's bowled some really good balls on quite a tough pitch, and he's still got that pace that was there, that was why he was so good when he was.
And Samit Patel we said goodbye to as well today. There's a big ovation for him really from the members and supporters down here as well as up on the dressing room. What's he been like as a character and on the pitch over the last 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves Samit. There's something about Samit that the fans have always loved. Local lad, but he does well at everything, doesn't he? He's got vital run-outs whenever it matters. He gets runs whenever the pressure's on, or wickets, or that's Samit. If it's a dead rubber, you could sort of pencil him in for naught, but if there was something on the line, you knew he would come good and get 200 or 500. That's just, he was a big moments player, and he was a big part in the club winning multiple trophies, and a big part of the dressing room and the culture, and just being there.
And back onto the pitch, you've got a couple of days left of the season really. How much are you sort of focusing on finishing the season well, despite the fact that the game doesn't necessarily matter in terms of league positionings, and then there's a lot riding for it in Middlesex. You want to finish as well as you can, I'm sure.
Yeah, obviously you've got to sort of have that professionalism and that pride. It would have been easy to have not taken the game seriously, but I think if you do that, you'd know about it when you're having a look at players that you're not sure. But we don't do that here. We want to be as professional. Last week we knew we were barely going to play because of the rain, but you still have to do the right things and the right processes, because otherwise the game will come back and bite you. So we want to win the game. We will be pushing as hard as we can to win the game, and unfortunately for Middlesex, if that means we won't give them the equation that they want or whatever, that's for the powers that be to decide, but for us it will be all about winning that game.